Ali, if you had to choose to hire a fitness coach or a scouting agent or a scouting person, a scout, or a scouting department, let's say a fitness department or a scouting department, what would you choose?
I would say a fitness department. So
Well, that's great because you've already hired one.
Yeah, so a strength and conditioning coach is really, really important. And that's something that Brian has already addressed. So he had one at the beginning of the season where he recruited one to add to his team. And then for some reasons that happened, they felt they needed a different approach. And they got Ben, which is our new strength and conditioning. Him and Harry are focusing on. So Harry's a physio. He's really good, really skillful, really knowledgeable. I've learned quite a few on the bus trips here and there. I've learned quite a bit about the health and fitness department.
Are you taking advantage of your ownership stake here?
I am. It comes with the perks of paying all the bills, you know. So I learned a lot. So Harry is a physio, and he's more into, you know, if something happens, he fixes it.
Right.
Prevention is.
I was just going to say,
Yeah.
what about prevention?
Prevention is with Ben, the strength and conditioning coach,
Right.
and you can see that we're reaping the rewards.
Yeah.
And it's looking pretty good. You know, for example, I've been speaking to Harry about it. He said, on a side note, so it was a long bus drive. I think it was from Dover from the beginning of the season. And we were talking about all this stuff. And he mentioned that he watched a podcast of an Arsenal physio. And he was like, we aim to get all our players back before their due date, I think 20 or 30% earlier. So when the physio is like, no, he's not yet ready yet, you know, yet. He's close, but he's not. This is when we push him back to get returned. Because the chances of re-injuring himself are like, let's say 20% versus the 80% that will continue and play on. So he saves much more days by pushing them in this regard than if he was to wait till they're fully recovered,
Interesting.
when there's still also a chance of re-injuring themselves.
Right.
So those are one of the things I've learned of Harry. And he also mentioned the hamstring issues, you know. So we have Oli Bray, which is a really explosive and fast player that is a main strength of his. It's his explosiveness. It's really valuable, you know. Sometimes I look at him when he's running at full sprint. It's like the defenders of the other teams are standing still. You know, he's so fast. He creates problems. Noah Coppin, same thing. Huge effort and stamina and acceleration. They create problems to the oppositions. So he mentioned that Ben, our strength and conditioning coach, focuses on prevention, and he gets our players to sprint. So the reason is, when you sprint, you use 8 times your body weight on your hamstrings. So there's nothing really like sprinting to strengthen your hamstrings.
Crazy load.
It's a crazy load, 8 times. I think you have something on this, right?
Not even the world's strongest man can lift that much on a deadlift, right? So Eddie Hall was the holder of, I think everyone knows who Eddie Hall is. World's strongest man, was the holder of the heaviest deadlift ever at 500 kilos.
So he was your competitor, right?
Right, yeah. I deadlift just under 500 kilos by a few hundred.
Just under 500 grams.
Right. Nah, come on. I'll say this: I can lift more than 100.
Really? That's quite impressive.
No, I think you would lift more than 100 if you tried.
That's quite a statement. Even you would.
Yeah. 100 is I think is it's fine.
Deadlift 100, huh?
100 is it's doable.
But with your body weight of 40 kgs.
Right. Yeah.
Rock.
30. I mean, what are you talking about? So Eddie Hall lifted 500 kilos. The world record has been broken by Hafthor at 510. But how much do they weigh? 200 kilos? Let's say 200, 250. let's say 200. So he's lifting 2.5 times his weight, using 3 of his muscles, right? 3 of his compound muscles, his lower back, his hamstrings, and his glutes. Whereas, and obviously you have a huge supporting cast in lats and even your traps are working. Everything works to lift that weight. Whereas where you're sprinting, you're putting the whole amount of effort on your hamstring, and it's 8 times that's a lot of effort on the hamstring. And
strain. Yes.
That's a lot of strain, yes.
So that's why he tries to prevent the hamstring issues. You have to strengthen your muscles, right? So he does that at least with 1 full proper sprint a week.
Right.
They have to do that. So even if there was no game or whatever the reasons are, he has his metrics, which he works on after training. That's when his work really starts, is to monitor all this stuff and to make sure that he has a strain going on these critical muscles that are often injured.
So I wanted to talk about the hamstring today, the importance of the hamstring. It's in fact the most injured, or it is, let's say as an area, it is the most injuries in football, professional football, is the hamstring, hamstring injuries, and it's interesting because today, top teams are talking about load management and hamstring load, and so I was wondering how you guys deal with these issues. Today, the footballing game is quite different than it was in the past. There's a lot more fixtures, a lot more game time. There's more pressing, more sprinting, more running. That all translates to more use of the hamstring, right?
100%.
It used to be that hamstring injuries were, a coincidence. Yeah. Today it's a science. Today it's taken care of preemptively, and then during training. And I think you were mentioning something about even players who don't play on match day get to train their hamstrings as if they played.
Oh yes, that's a critical part. With what you mentioned now, with the counter pressing and the counter attacking and the high press, I've been watching a game of I think a World Cup game like in the 50s or 60s, and the difference in style of football is unbelievable. The contrast. It used to be if you lost the ball, you just sit down in the low block or the mid block and just wait for them to come in. The attackers would just back off, and basically it's a good resting time. That's no longer the case. Now it's counter press, it's in your face football, right up there, the keeper doesn't have time to think. The players, to be a keeper, you need to be a ball playing goalkeeper, a sweeper keeper, in fact. And then you have the ball playing defenders. Everyone is used to the high press and being under pressure, and they instill this on the youth from day one, that this is the way we play and this is the way you must play.
There's no chilling.
There's no chilling at all. It's really hard.
If you're a defender, you attack. If you're an attacker, you defend.
You
do it all.
It's unbelievable, the amount. So that's why what you're mentioning now is so important, with having the preventative side of it with the strength and conditioning coaches and the department, which has data with the GPS trackers and all that information that they get. They get a bunch of points that they have. So this tracker, I think, has like 40 points every second that it measures. So it is in total detail. And the strength and conditioning coaches extracts this data after each match or training and gets a detailed analysis of each player and customizes each tracker to each player.
They call it a sprint profile.
The sprint profile, yes. And a total physical profile. It covers so much data that is of extreme value to the people who understand it. For us, we are lucky to have Ben and Harry. They do it, and their efforts have been shown. We have injuries. Our injuries are much less than they were, which is a great sign. Things shows that things are working.
Yeah, I mean, the importance of these things like the load management, the hamstring management, training, reducing injuries really has so many benefits, and not a lot of them, stand out. Obviously, you're going to get more value out of the player if he's not injured, but also if he's playing, he gets more chemistry with his teammates. More chemistry means more better passing, better. And more assists, more goals, wins basically. So it all comes like when you track it and you go back to the root, it's all down to the strength, right? The importance of the fitness department is so big. Like the correlation between that and winning and lifting the trophy is so evident.
And on that, Barak, the importance of getting a good strength and conditioning coach is you get more time or less downtime from your players. Instead of being on the physio's table, they'll be playing out on the field because of stress management, load management. When he keeps a proper eye, you get less downtime from your players, right?
Right.
Which basically leads to better results, improved chemistry, where they would know exactly what to do, and they train with each other more, which is absolutely critical. They play with each other more, and it's less time injured. So an investment here gets you much more value than having a deeper squad. It's a science that pays itself back really, really quickly. And it shows you the advancements and the forward thinking that Brian and Callum and Theo have, where they wanted a strength and conditioning coach, and they knew that it is something that would add value. And now they have it, and it's reaping its rewards.
Okay, so let's bring this down to reality. Okay, you're a sixth-tier English footballing club. You know Liverpool, right, Ryan? You know Real Madrid. So
why would you mention Liverpool
Liverpool.
when we beat them?
I think
We just beat them.
just give an example of the best English football team ever.
Let's not go there, Barak.
I mean-
I used to like.
I mean, trophies
not gonna
speak. Trophies speak for themselves, don't they? Who has the most championship UEFA Champions League trophies? It's just a question. I don't know. Let's continue. I think the answer is evident.
All right, thank you for watching.
Well, it's not Arsenal.
Well done.
Anyway, so let's talk
My hate
about
for Liverpool is much deeper
than
than it is for Arsenal.
right,
Yeah.
of course. I got your back, Brian. Anyway, so let's talk about those teams, and then, I'll talk to you about what those teams have, and you tell me if Salisbury has that or not. And obviously, I don't expect you to have any of all of those. This is quite.
Let me just
expensive.
answer now and say we don't.
Right. So head of performance.
No.
Okay. So what can you tell me what head of performance does?
It actually speaks for itself, right? The performance of the players, and they analyze the players' data, mostly from the GPS trackers, and see how they've been performing, be it in the team itself, or even if they're on loan, they have the GPS track. So if we get a player on loan, usually the team that has sent the player monitors their data, not us. But they share the data with us because they want to know how they've been doing, how long they've been playing, what they've been doing during the game. So loans are a very, very interesting thing. It's not as simple as people think, where they just send them on loan. And no, they send them on loan because they want them to get better.
Of course.
And when they send them to a team, it means they trust this team with their most valuable asset. It is their youth.
There, yeah. Strength and conditioning coach.
We have that with Ben.
Right.
Reynolds.
And we know, we've already talked about it, we know what they do. A sports scientist.
What do sports scientists do, Barak?
I have no idea. Physiotherapist, maybe? It's maybe a little bit more?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, Jeff. Have you seen that?
No.
I don't know, Jeff.
No.
We have to see
Is it
that.
a meme?
It's totally funny. I'll show it to you after the game. I'm sure the guys know it.
A recovery load specialist.
I haven't heard of this position before, but for us, Ben, the strength and conditioning, and Harry would be taking care of the load management.
Right.
As I said in the last game, Brian was very careful with the players.
GPS tracking. Do we have that?
Oh yes, we do.
We use
They're the things that they wear.
sprint load zones. So just making sure that finding out what every player's sprint's capability is, how fast they can go, how long they can.
And what's a sprint for each player, right?
Right. Yeah.
A sprint for me isn't the same as a sprint for you. Obviously, it'd be much slower.
I'd be much
Right?
faster. Right.
This
my
will be
short legs.
content. I can
Yeah.
guarantee I'm faster than you are.
Backwards. You could probably run faster backwards.
Ah, yes.
But there's this thing called training to match day ratio, intensity ratio.
What is that?
So they measure intensity of work, the work rate of a player during training and during match day.
Okay.
And then there's a ratio that is kept to keep it constant week over week.
Okay.
Do you know if this is done?
I would think. You know what's interesting is I was speaking to Brian about things like that. Good managers and coaches actually have a feel for this.
Yeah.
Before we had the strength and conditioning coach, he would say, and Callum, they would speak about, let's have a right training on Thursday. The boys have been through so much this week. Let's have Thursday off. Let them rest. We need them to rest. Rest is sometimes as important as actual training. So they have a feel for that. It's something that I've never played professionally, so I wouldn't know. I would play every day. Perfectly fine. But they would know that, I think this guy is close to his breaking point. He might pull a hamstring. There's something that's instilled in them with all the experience and the foresight that they have,
Right.
that this might lead to, if he plays today, you know what? They've been through so much the last few weeks. I'm not going to be hard on them. There's a chance they might be injured. They have this feel. Obviously, it's a science now with all GPS trackers and the specialists, strength and conditioning coaches.
So I do have something similar to that. As you know, people might not know, one of my hobbies is powerlifting. And so I lift heavy weights in the gym.
Heavy weights.
Yeah, heavy. For me, it's heavy. And so focusing on the three main lifts, bench, squat, and deadlift. And one of the things that happens, especially in the beginning, is workload unmanagement, right? You're always, I would wake up in the morning happy that today is deadlift day, right? I would go in and lift a heavy barbell. But what happens is, because of that motivation, that hype that you have, that, just intensity of working hard every day, day after day, hitting PRs constantly, every workout is a PR day, right? Every workout I do, there's no volume day, there's no rest day, there's always a PR day. I'm going in to break my record, whether that's on a 1 rep max or a 5 rep max or whatever. I was there to hit after a while, your CNS, your central nervous system, starts feeling the load, and you start failing constantly, especially if you don't take breaks. And there's overload on your CNS, and you start not being able to lift weights that are 70% of your max weight. And in the beginning, if you don't have a coach and you're just doing this for fun, it's confusing. You don't know what's going on. Is it my food? Is it my sleep? Am I getting weaker just because I'm weaker?
That's mental. You might just quit.
Mentally.
I'm sure people will just quit.
It's so tough mentally because
I remember that stage with you. I think we spoke about it.
Yeah, I might have, because it hurt me. It's like, it was what happened,
Yeah.
And I'm sure I talked about it because we work at the same office, right? So we see each other every day in the morning. I'm sure I talked to you about it. So I was just thinking this can translate well to players, especially since the average age of a player is pretty young, considering, right? We say a 28-year-old he's past his prime, right? Whereas in life, 28 years, he's barely matured enough, right? So I mean, if his manager's not taking care of his load, and there's no care for his fatigue over time, he might not realize that the issue is not with him. And psychologically, that could have an issue, and it could have a downward trend on his future, let alone his short-term performance. So I mean, and it all comes down to hamstrings. Let's talk about the reasons for the importance of the hamstring and why it's the number one battleground on the field. Today's football is faster than ever. We've got more sprints. We've got more high intensity runs. We've got more counter pressing. We've got more fixtures per season, right?
All of these are yes.
All
Even
of
on
these.
the lower leagues, congestion is really high.
It's fun for us.
It's
as
fun
fans,
for
right?
us. Yes.
You get to watch a lot, but for the players, it's crazy. And
Saturday, Tuesday.
and especially with the lower tier teams where your squad's not as deep.
True.
You don't have as many subs, right?
Because of the budget.
You have to
constraints.
play. I mean, Brian was a was
Yeah.
a sub at some point, wasn't he?
Yeah, last season, last part of the season, Brian and Callum and Theo, they're all on the bench,
Yeah.
like praying. Oh Lord!
I'd watch that match just to see you score, man. Nothing else.
Yeah, they mentioned that Brian has scored few goals in his season,
Right.
although Callum played in a higher level than Brian,
Yeah.
but he never scored a professional goal in his life.
So Brian, this might seem weird, and maybe if after a while of you watching these episodes, you'll have the same feeling. But I feel like I know you very well. I've heard so much about you from Ali. I've heard so many stories, so many of your.
Lessons.
I've heard you scream over the
Screaming would actually be Callum.
is that right? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
the passion is always that side.
yeah.
This Callum is.
It'll be very. I'll be very happy to meet you one day when I come to visit.
Soon.
And the rest of everyone at Salisbury. So some data to talk about. UEFA reports injuries for all of its players, and the number of injuries for hamstrings ranges between 15 and 20%, being the highest ranked type of injury
Interesting.
in football.
Interesting.
Yeah. The average player with a hamstring injury misses 17 to 24 days. So that's the average. It's not the high end of hamstring injuries or the muscle cramp, right? It's the average. That's a lot of days. That's a big portion of I'm pretty sure it's more than ankle injuries, right?
Yeah. So 14 days it can potentially be 4 matches.
17, yeah. 17 is the lower end.
Yes, it's 4 or 5 matches. That's not chopped liver.
And re-injury rates for hamstrings is 30%.
Wow.
So let's talk about some real life examples of top tier teams.
The hamstring is a really hard muscle to manage. You need to be really serious, especially for explosive players, as we mentioned. When a player's out that day to 17 to 24, it's with Ollie, I think it was 10 weeks. It depends on the extent of the injury and once you're back, you're not just thrown into the first squad. You need to strengthen this so that it doesn't happen again. It's a science that Harry and Ben are on top of. So let's hear what you have on that.
So with top teams, let's talk. I'll be talking about Manchester City, Liverpool, and Chelsea as examples of good and bad hamstring management. So in Manchester City, there's a good example. Pep Guardiola's obviously revolutionary team. One aspect of that is the fitness team, and their performance team is elite. And they were super obsessed with load management, specifically for hamstrings. They have very, very low muscular injuries, despite their insane fixtures. Their hamstrings specifically were rarely injured on their players, and this is due to their strength and conditioning. Right, pep roulette, yes.
Yeah, it's a part of that. It's a result of that.
Exactly.
He has a huge rotation with his squad.
Right, and
No one is guaranteed the spot.
they can afford it, right?
They can afford it.
Despite the fines. Let's not get into politics now. So they took care of their strength and conditioning. Took care of their posterior chains. The posterior chain is super important for explosiveness, for sprints, and so that's taken care of. As you mentioned, the deep squad they have, load management there.
And he has no fear of rotating players.
Right.
Obviously,
It's a
their
team
first
game,
squad.
right? And it's a team game. It's no one player over another.
True.
And then their individualized sprint profiles, which you guys do, right?
Yeah.
Finding out what each player sprints and managing that, taking care to
And
get
the targets
get the most out of
that
that.
is put by the management team on each player, how much they should do, what's the load management, and the customization that Ben does for the GPS trackers for each player, the amount of customization and the data they extract about each player and the feedback that's given. There's so much that goes into it. There's so much work into football. It's unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable.
Right, and on the other end of the spectrum, you've got Liverpool and Chelsea, who did not. I don't mean this as just stats. They did not manage load very well, and they had issues, consistent issues with injuries, specifically to
Muscular?
hamstrings. Yeah, muscular in general, and then hamstring in general. And obviously, when I mention these stats, none of this is injuries that are on the field that
Someone
players
knocking
been
into each other
tackled
or bad tackle or
right, or something like that. We're talking about specifically training or fatigue-induced injuries.
yeah, because hamstrings it's usually something
Yeah, due to
induced,
fatigue.
or
Exactly.
or weak muscles or whatever it is. But when we talk knee or ankle or other injuries, then it's probably physical contact.
For sure, yeah. And so an example of Liverpool was their 2021-2022 season, where they had major hamstring issues. They had players like Thiago, Keita, Matip, Chamberlain, all had issues with hamstring. And this is all because of super high intensity pressing that they play, as well as on average a very aging squad, not very, but aging squad.
Relatively.
And then they didn't have enough load tapering, as well as
So squad depth.
I'm not sure actually. Did they not have a deep squad? It doesn't say that here.
No, it's Klopp isn't known for his rotations as much as
Okay.
Pep. Pep is totally open to it.
Chelsea also had quite the issue. But instead of a season, they had it going on for two seasons, back to back, 2022 all the way to 2024. They had constant staff turnover in their fitness and performance teams. That makes a difference, right? The more that the fitness team gets to know the players, the more they know how to deal with their issues preventatively, as well as when issues occur. And as well as there weren't any, there was no continuity on the players' side either. Constant breakdowns with players, especially hamstrings. You've got Reece James, Fofana, and etc. So those are real life examples in the top tiers. Let's go on to what prevents these. And I'm sure you guys, you tell me what you guys are doing. Strength and conditioning.
Obviously, I'm the chairman, right?
Right.
I wouldn't know what.
I mean,
details are.
you've heard
I've heard
stories
a
here
bit,
and there.
but don't blame me if I don't.
Yeah. So strength and conditioning. You've already told us they're working hard in the gym to make sure they have strong hamstrings, right?
And the training and the
Sprints.
customized schedules.
You mentioned on match day, players that haven't played, they have to sprint after.
Yeah, fans who would see this, that if you haven't played, obviously, and you're fit, you would be asked to do some running after the match to make up the sum of the distance and keep up your fitness, because obviously you're not training that day, so right? So if you're just sitting, you need to do the proper running. You need to get your running in with a set amount that's decided by Brian and his team. And even if you played or came on as a sub, there's also a number that they have to achieve, a certain minutes or load that has to be achieved in order for it to be acceptable to keep up their fitness,
Yeah, this comes back to the ratio we talked about earlier.
Yes.
Keeping it intact. All right, so that's what I had prepared for the hamstring. Do you have any closing takes on this?
Oh, I'll see you guys soon. I'm traveling to Salisbury. And maybe by the time this episode is out, I think I'll be either in Salisbury.
No, you'll be on the airplane coming back.
All right, I'll be on the airplane coming back. Anyways, nice to see you guys. Yeah, we're enjoying this, keeping you guys up to date and try to be as transparent as we can. Barak's doing a good job preparing these subjects, and we'll be reading some of your comments and answering some of your questions in future episodes. Thank you for your support. You guys are the heart and soul of the club, and I am so happy to be a part of the Salisbury team, if you will. Looking forward to more wins and an enjoyable season. And I think we have we'll probably be done with the fan forum when this is out. So I think the fan forum is due out on we're going to on the 24th of November.
Moving forward, we'll record these episodes closer to when we put them out. But now that's we're just starting. I think we just need to prepare more. We're not used to it yet.
And the reason is also I'm traveling, right?
Right. So this is the second episode, and we're recording it right now before even the first one has aired. So excuses for that. Hopefully this the time between recording and uploading will decrease over time.
Thank you very much. Come on, you whites!